Okay, everybody, time for the digital marketing news this week. I've got some really interesting stuff this week. I'm going to go over the big Google update that happened, give you some key insights there. There's a bunch of stuff that happened, okay? So first thing that happened this week is Facebook has rolled out a new video creation kit feature, and this new part of Facebook's video creation kit allows you to resize videos that you could never do before. It's got, it'll help you with the IGTV stuff, all the different ways you want to resize videos. It's got a bunch of new different fonts. It's got new seasonal stickers that are coming to it. So Facebook's video creation kit has new features. So go check it out, and it's a good, easy way to edit. Next thing, this is kind of crazy. Instagram advertisers can now convert influencer posts into ads. So if you paid an influencer to do something for you, or if an influencer just did something for you, you can actually take that and then you can run that as an ad. And it's called branded content ads. And one of the main things you need to do is you need permission to actually run this ad from the creator, of course. You can't just like jump in and do it. So you have to go into the advanced settings page on the app to make that happen. But we're seeing just a ton of influencer marketing on Instagram. So now you can take that, you can advertise even more, you get way more shelf life out of it. So that's exciting. Next thing, a new report comes out that said podcast revenue jumped 53% last year. A lot of people talking about podcasting. I believe we're going to be offering it as a service and podcast promotion and all that exciting stuff. With Google now indexing podcasts and just a lot of people passive listening to podcasts, it's definitely something that you should look into. Oh, by the way, our podcast, we've got the director of global marketing for Qualcomm who's going to be on it. I'm so excited. I'm interviewing her last week. We have Jay Abraham who's on it. We've already done that interview. Brian Dean who's going to be on it. We've got like this hit list of amazing people who are going to be on our podcast. Roland Frazier from Digital Marketer, pumped up, and these interviews just are so helpful to people. And I really check out the Ignite Visibility University podcast. Doesn't cost you anything. You just get to learn and hear these great conversations for free. Next thing, LinkedIn acquires Drawbridge to improve their reach and their targeting. So LinkedIn has acquired this company. They're just investing more and more into their advertising. And the reason that they did that is because they said that the new technology is going to boost your return on investment and engagement when you run ads on the platform, okay? So specifically, it's going to allow you to have better analytics. It's going to allow you to have better return on investment. And then additionally, LinkedIn says that LinkedIn is also using Moat to help you determine the impact of your video ads. So interesting to see kind of a couple things coming together there. Moat is a really great tool if you haven't tried it for advertising. Also, if you didn't see this last week when I did the news, you will now be able to see your competitors' ads on LinkedIn. So 3 big things happening with LinkedIn ads right there. We've got the acquisition, we've got a closer partnership with Moat, and then finally you can see your competitors' ads if you go to their page, just like Facebook, because of all the new transparency things that are required. Next thing, biggest thing this week. Google is rolling out this core algorithm update. If you go into SEMrush right now, which is a rank tracking tool, you're going to see a lot of sites that look like they're just going straight down, and people are panicking, and I was panicking, and then I looked at a whole bunch of different sites out there, and I realized it was happening to everybody. So what does that mean? That means that we probably have some issues with the database and the tracking within SEMrush. It's not necessarily the Google traffic. Our traffic is actually up from this update, even though it looks like it's going down in SEMrush. But this update, and a lot of this stuff lately, it's around EAT, right? Expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness. Authority and trustworthiness. And that's kind of like this new criteria for websites that Google is making super important, right? I'm going to be doing a webinar on this. I already have all the information, and I think it's going to be really great. We're creating a checklist. We've actually already created this checklist of exactly what you need to do to make your website specifically like this, right? Best part, Google's given us great kind of general framework for it, and so what we did is take all of our conversion rate optimization strategies and all this stuff and put it together into a checklist, and it's going to be really helpful, I think. But I think the main thing to keep in mind is you have to invest in this long term. Otherwise, you're going to eventually get hit. And it's like the financial space, the medical space, like, all these, anything like that, if they don't really see a super credible website, super credible author, person behind posts, things aren't sourced, those things together, thin content, not really covering the whole topic, those are just a few of the things. Those things together make it so that you are very liable to get hit by a penalty. Also, at the same time, something else that happened this week is Google, at the same time as this update, which they say is unrelated, they said that they're now making it so that the search results will not have multiple listings from the same website. So before, I would work with like a huge e-commerce site, right? And a huge e-commerce site, they might have 3 or 4 different listings if you did a search for a product name or a category name or something like that. That was great for us, right? But now they are going to try to have more diversity, so not as many listings for each site, which is going to be a big hit, probably for some of those sites that had multiple listings and more real estate and stuff like that. But I have to say, I think at the end of the day, it's probably better for everybody to have kind of a fair shot in there opposed to the multiple listings. I mean, I never want anybody's business to get hurt or anything. So for the e-commerce sites, if they were, I'm very sorry for anything you've lost and all that. But I mean, I think it kind of makes sense on some level, and you'll be able to make it up probably with paid media and all the new audiences that are out there. There's always a way, right? Next thing, North Face is under all this scrutiny, and their digital agency is as well, because basically here's what they were doing, okay? North Face, the company's ad agency, I'm not going to say their name, updated images on Wikipedia for popular travel destinations, and then they would basically they would put North Face branding at the top of these Wikipedia images, and they were like basically going through and trying to manipulate Wikipedia over and over, right? And then somebody found out about this, and then they just called them out so hard, just totally called them out. Somehow an article ends up on Search Engine Land about it, which Search Engine Land is usually like very non-biased and not mean, and like that's kind of like their MO, right? But this article, I was like really surprised. They were whoever the author was just talked about how it was like the worst thing to ever happen. I mean, I don't think it's the worst thing. It's like, so what? Somebody tried to manipulate Wikipedia a little bit and get a couple images in there, right? I mean, I guess that's bad, but it's not the worst thing I've ever seen an SEO do. That's for sure. I've seen a lot more stuff, like somebody hack 1 million web pages and try to get backlinks back for like some type of supplement or something. There's so much worse stuff out there. I mean, people are doing this stuff all day. People are going to Quora all day and answering questions and trying to get links back. I don't see them getting called out. Google Ads is getting rid of a couple bidding strategies, so target search page location and target outranking share, which are things like I don't really see a lot of people using, so good riddance. But they're asking people to instead, if you were using those, do target impression share instead. If you're unfamiliar with target impression share, it allows you to set one of 3 placement options at the very top, at the top of the page anywhere, and anywhere on the page. So that's interesting. And then a new study comes out that says that vertical videos on Facebook have the highest engagement rank. So like rank. So if it's a video that's vertical opposed to like the horizontal, they have the highest engagement rank, 0.3% opposed to landscape, which are 0.2, and square that are 0.16. And then there was this other stuff that happened in the study. They came out and they said that video length didn't matter, when we looked at another study last week that said that video length did matter and it had to be 3 minutes. And what does that tell you? It tells you that data sampling often has tons of errors. I've seen so much of it reported lately. The issue right now is people are trying to come out with studies a lot, and they have very small data pools, or they don't do them correctly, and then just studies in general have issues. So we're seeing a lot of misinformation come out. I would say more now than ever. Last thing, I had so much fun speaking at SMX, not yesterday, the day before. Just a total blast to everybody who came up and said hello. Thank you so much. That was just a ton of fun to talk about voice search. Thanks so much for watching. If you like this video, give me a like, give me a comment, tell somebody to subscribe. I love just getting the word out about all the new cool innovations that are happening in digital marketing. Have a great day. See you next week.